Put the hip shit on the shelf, cause the way the real rappers being real with self. Man, I haven't seen the glory of the coming of the left. I can do it by myself, so I'm asking for help. It's time to switch it up, put the hip shit on the shelf, cause the way the real rappers being real with self. Man, I haven't seen the glory of the coming of the left. I can do it by myself, so I'm asking for help. Money. That's all you got to like more being wealthy. Like Kanye West said, having money is not everything, not having it is. No, Deuteronomy 8:18, that God gives us the ability to create wealth. No, it's the love of money that's the wrong. He don't love money so much, he doesn't go to work. Yeah, he's not doing that about money. I'm just trying to leave a legacy for money. Not everything, but when you got it, you can do some cool stuff. Now, your host for Talking Money in the Morning, financial health mentor to the working class, Mr. A. Cortez.
Good morning, Black world, and welcome to Talking Money in the Morning Live with your main man, H. Cortez, the one and only financial health mentor to the Black community, everybody's favorite fatherpreneur, where I do my absolute best to bring practical yet proven wealth building strategies to working men and women all over this great nation of ours. It's truly an honor, privilege, and a blessing to come to you live and direct from the Generational Wealth Building Conference Studios here in St. Louis, Missouri. Guys, if you have not already purchased your tickets to the Generational Wealth Building Conference in Atlanta, Georgia, April 6th through 8th, you're missing out. I want you to go to wealth.joincorteznow.com. Somebody type that in the chat for me, wealth.joincorteznow.com. There's a youth wealth building workshop. There is a women's empowerment workshop. There is a wealth building conference brunch on Sunday. There is mix and mingles on Friday. Man, it's just going to be phenomenally amazing. Something that has never been done for us, by us. So if you are able to get your tail to the ATL for the Generational Wealth Building Conference, I want you to again go to wealth.joincorteznow.com. It's amazing all of the people that my man ERGJ and the Black Billionaires Club are bringing together to make this thing happen, so that those of us who want to build wealth will no longer have the excuse of not having the right information. Pam Presley, good morning, Queen. Wiggins, George, good morning, good morning, good morning. Abayez, okay, he says name is Edwin. All right, well, Edwin, that is easier on the vocabulary. Future Leaders LLC in the building. So appreciate you guys. You guys do me a huge favor. If you're checking us out on YouTube, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. If you have not already subscribed to the channel, you want to do so, so you can catch all of our live streams and everything that we got going on. And be sure to also rate the show. Whether it's thumbs up, thumbs down, don't really make me know, never mind, but let me know what you think of the show. And same thing for you guys on Facebook. You guys know that we give a lot of great content every day, and the price of admission to the show is a simple share, simply hitting that share button. So do that for me. Go ahead and hit the share button, and let's get this out to more and more people. The likes and the thumbs up, the hearts and all that stuff, that's good. It lets Facebook know that you guys we have some content that people want to see, and they'll push it out to more and more people for us. Today's show is also brought to you by the Black Wealth Movement. Guys, I've been screaming for the last 3 years. If you're working a job and you don't have a business, you're leaving tens of thousands of dollars on the table. What we're trying to do is we're trying to live a lifestyle based on our gross income with our net. We're trying to live a gross income lifestyle with our net income. Don't take a rocket science to figure out that math don't work. You got to understand that adding a business to your W-2 will give you the same access to the tax write-offs that all other businesses have, and that's going to save you money. So for $35 to start and roughly $50 per month to maintain your business with us, you can join our business team of wealth strategists here with the Black Wealth Movement. We will teach you entrepreneurship. We will teach you how to use the tax code to build wealth. We will teach you how to take your tax savings and use that for debt elimination. We will teach you how to fix your own credit, and then we will teach you how to take all of those newfound streams of income and learn to invest. Yes, that's how you build generational wealth from scratch. I know a lot of people keep saying that it's hard to do and all of that kind of stuff. They don't like that as a solution, but guess what? They're not offering any alternatives. If something doesn't change, nothing changes. So if you're interested in learning about the Black Wealth Movement, all you got to do is hit the link in the description, moreinfo.joincorteznow.com, or all you got to do is text Black Wealth Movement to 314-874-6887. And let's be very clear about something. That is my personal cell phone number. So when I respond to you, understand that you're not texting some bot, some automated system. It's funny that people will text Black Wealth Movement to me and I respond and ask them their name, and then I get crickets. Don't play with me, man. If you're not interested seriously to where you're at least willing to give me your name, don't even text me. Don't even text me. I don't know if they think that if they give me their name, I'm going to start spamming the phone. I'm going to start cold calling them. No, man, you reached out to me. So just be serious if you or want to join the Black Wealth Movement. And I can tell you each and every morning, guys, I don't have time to go through the whole intro, but this show is for legacy builders and people who are trying to transform their lives financially. It's not for people who are content with where they are. It's not for people who are satisfied with average. If that's you, please, please, please exit stream stage left. So you guys know how this works. Go ahead and give me the name of your business and or brand. I'll give you a business shout out and then ask your questions. Same with you guys on YouTube. I can see your comments in the live chat. So let me know how that is, what it is that you have questions with, what you're working with. Chef's Houses says, how do I create a brand? So first thing, let's identify or define what a brand is. A brand is the message that you represent or your company represents and or stands for in the marketplace. And that representation is expressed via text, via imagery, logos, and things of that nature. Text is your written communication and taglines. Text is imagery, logos, and your and also video communication. That would be your commercials, your live streams, and things of that nature, and also audio only communication as well. So that's what the brand is. So you tell me, what is Chef's Houses, right? And then we can start crafting your brand. What does Chef's Houses represent in the marketplace? How do you want to express that representation in text, in imagery, in video and audio, and also audio only methods of communication? And while you're thinking about how you want to express those things, you think about who you want to express those things to, because when you have a target avatar or a target market in mind, you have to understand how to communicate with that target market. So here's the target market. My target market is Black conscious folks who understand that economic empowerment is the revolution. Not just Black conscious people, period, because some conscious people believe that studying our history is the revolution. Some conscious people believe that rebuilding or building our own schools is the revolution, right? My target audience understands that you can't fight any of those wars without first financing those wars. So we are looking to bring economic empowerment. That's my target market. So if you look at this imagery right here, it says Black Wealth Movement. That is a logo, that is a picture and text. It's a picture and text. So what is your what does that represent? You see the red, black, and green. It represents our struggle as Black people in America. Black Wealth Movement. You see, it represents a movement, a collective, a collaborative effort of Black people trying to build wealth, right? So when you know who you're talking to, then you can create all of your messaging to speak their language and speak directly to them so it's easily understood by them. What's going on? Beats by D-Boy in the building. Good morning to you. So hopefully that helps chefs' houses identify what a brand is. It's your message and your expression of that message through text, image, video, audio. But then once you have that, you have to cater and craft that message to the audience that you're speaking to, right? There's nothing like trying to communicate with someone who does not speak your language. I know a lot of people in business who are trying to communicate with people and they do not speak the language of the people that they want to communicate. They're not speaking the language. So for instance, my target audience age demographic is 37 to about 57. So if I start trying to talk too hip, if I start trying to use the youngest slang terms, if I start talking like a 17-year-old rapper, that's a language and a communication barrier that will not resonate with my current audience, right? That is a language mismatch. I'm speaking English, they're hearing French. If I want to connect with that audience and that age demographic, I have to speak French to them in order for them to even understand what I'm saying. Then I have to speak directly to and at their pain points and the problems that they have so that they know I have a valid and viable solution. So what most people don't get is this. About 80% of business is branding and marketing. About 80% of business is branding and marketing. See, when you put your brand out there and you market in a certain way, when I talk to people about what I do, they're 80% sold because of the brand and the marketing. But what other people don't do when they don't understand the power of branding and marketing is they are trying to sell people on who they are and what they do. And that's a tougher struggle to fight. Is I first got to get you to understand who I am and what I do. Then I second have to get you to know, like, and trust me. Then I third have to help you understand that I have the best solution for what you do at the best price. Right? That's a lot to have to get across to someone. And sometimes you don't have a lot of time. But if your branding is right, if your imagery is right, if your logos are right, all of that stuff is speaking to someone before I even show up on the scene. Now I just have to fill in a 20% gap versus a 100% gap. It's a big difference, man. That's why you should focus on branding and marketing. Everything that I do is about furthering the brand, getting the brand out in front of more and more people so that once I put those people into my funnel, they know, like, and trust me because of the brand. Then when I finally get on the phone with them, I finally get in their inbox, they finally email me or whatever the case is, then I don't have such a hard go at helping them understand what I do because of the branding and the marketing. You guys go to McDonald's because of the branding and the marketing. You already know, like, and trust them. You already know that you're going to hit that drive-through, and it doesn't matter if it's 10 cars in front of you, you're still going to be through that thing in 7 to 10 minutes. Gives you 20 minutes to eat and get back to your job for lunch. See, that's the brand. The message that they put out in the marketplace is, we're going to give you food and we're going to give it to you fast. That's the message. And everything that they do is around that message, right? You have to develop and craft your message. And you can't really do that unless you first know who you're talking to. What problems do you solve? Who or what type of people have those problems? Where do they hang out? What kind of language do they speak? How much money do they spend? How often do they spend it? You got to really do your research and break that stuff down, and then you craft your messaging and speak directly to those people and to those pain points. Great question, though. Great question. Any other questions? Tell me the name of your, where you're tuning in from, the name of your business and brand, then ask your question. You guys don't have any questions, then you know what we do. We recap this week's past shows. We had another blockbuster week of shows. Attendance was at an all-time high, or in our case, I say attendance, I mean views, viewership. We had a lot of people tuning in. I thank you guys for sharing, sharing. It's amazing how we can work together and can reach more and more people with this message of economic empowerment. And with that being said, if you believe that economic empowerment is the message that we need to be communicating in the Black community, hit the share button right now. Go ahead and put in economic empowerment and then hit the share button now so we can educate more and more people on the benefits of owning and having business, building brands, and how that helps with long-term generational wealth building. So yesterday's show, if you missed it, I want you to go to tv.financialhealthmentor.com and check out the show. Or you can go to yesterday's show on YouTube, or go to my timeline on Facebook. But we had Vanessa Braxton talk about Black excellence in business. Talk about Black excellence in business. This young lady is really doing her thing, man. And not only is she doing her thing, she's inviting us all to come along for the ride, meaning with a $500 minimum buy-in, you can invest into her company where she has Black Mama's Tea and Cafe. She's taking this company public, not to the NASDAQ, but to the New York Stock Exchange. And you can own shares of the stock before the company goes public. Powerful thing. I don't know if you understand what was happening here. Somebody owned a lot of Facebook stock before they went public. Somebody owned a lot of stock in Twitter before they went public. Somebody owned a lot of stock in Apple before they went public. That's where the real wealth is made. You guys got an opportunity to invest $500. That's $5 a share. And you can literally transform your family's life for generations to come. That's the minimum buy-in. I didn't say that's all you can do, but you can do more than that if you can afford it. But that helps her continue her march to the New York Stock Exchange, and that helps you and your family by owning assets in her company, because you literally become co-owner with her. And that's the way it's done, man. You don't want to wait until the bandwagon pulls off to try to jump on. No, you want to help build the bandwagon. And that's what this thing is all about. So wonderful lady, owns all of her own stuff, man, and just serious about doing what she is doing. So if you have not checked that out, go to wefunder.com/Black Mama Tea and Cafe. wefunder.com/Black Mama Tea and Cafe. And I will put that in the chat here in a second. It says, can you explain when a company go public and why to buy in or not a company before they go public? Okay, so the way that it works is the company right now, it's a private equity company, right? That means she owns the company. That is her company. She's getting ready to go public, so she's seeking investors, right? So what happens is before she goes public, she can kind of set the price of what the shares are going to be based on what she thinks the company is worth right now, and really giving investors a deal on ownership, because when she goes public, the market determines what the value of the company is. So for instance, right now, the company is worth $5 per share. This is pre-IPO. This is early stage. This is before second round and third round and before she goes public. So this is $5 a share. When the company goes public, I think Facebook had a $38 offering when the company went public. So imagine you bought a few thousand shares when it was $1 a share, when it was $5 a share. Then they go public, and now all of the shares are instantly worth $38, right? So you just made $33 on every share that you own when the company went public, right? So in this case, Say, for instance, you spent $500. You invested your $500 now before the company goes public. That means you own 100 shares at $5 per share. If the company goes public at, let's say, $38, when the company goes public at $38, now your 100 shares that you paid $500 for just became worth $3,800. So you just made a $3,300 profit because you did your due diligence, you investigated the company, and you saw that there was a good opportunity there. So going public allowed you to have the biggest increase pre-IPO allows you to have the biggest increase. Now, can you then buy shares at $38 a share? Absolutely. You can buy shares at $38 a share, but $5 a share is better, right? Now, when the company goes public at $38 a share, it's going to still continue to increase. I believe in her company will, because of what she's doing and the ownership she has. So it's going to increase, but it's never going to jump $35 per share ever again. Over time, it will continue to rise. A dime a share, a nickel a share, might fall back 15 cents, then it might go up 25 cents, but it will never again have a jump, in most cases, as significant as the jump from pre-IPO to IPO. So yeah, if you can find companies that are private equity that are on the march to going public, and you help them build an infrastructure, you're with them from the beginning, because she did this herself. Now she owns the majority of the shares herself. So imagine how many shares she owns at $5 a share. And of course, it didn't cost her $5 a share. It was nothing a share for her because she's building this herself. Right? She's got sweat equity in, but now when it jumps to whatever it's jumping to, even if it jumped to $15 a share, right? Even if it jumped to $8 a share, you still win. And then she let us know this: when you own stock in a small business that is developing like hers, then that profit you make when the company does go public is 100% tax-free, up to $10 million. So say you own 5,000 shares of her stock, right? And then that thing jumps up to $38 a share. You just made a huge profit, but because you earn a profit in a certified small business, that profit is 100% tax-free. You guys know we love talking about taxes on the show, but don't get it twisted. I'm not a tax preparer. I'm not an accountant. I'm not a CPA. My official disclaimer: I just like to study the tax code, because guess what? The tax code was built for business people, by business people, and to benefit business people. If you don't own a business, you can't benefit. So it makes sense for me to study the tax code because I'm a business owner, right? So that was Tuesday's show. That was yesterday's show. Real quick, let me give you my quote of the day. Today's quote of the day says this: the biggest difference between the rich and the poor is financial education and execution. Hey, what's going on, Erica? We're talking about Black Mama Brands, Black owned. She's going to be the first Black woman-owned company to hit the New York Stock Exchange. And don't jump down my throat. Understand what I'm saying, because you're going to say, well, Kathy Hughes owns a company and she went public. There's some other Black woman-owned companies and some other Black-owned companies on the NASDAQ. She's going to be the first Black woman-owned company on the New York Stock Exchange, and might very well be the first Black-owned company, period, on the New York Stock Exchange. We don't think there's a Black-owned company on the New York Stock Exchange. Lots of them on the NASDAQ. We're talking about the New York Stock Exchange, and she's going to be the first Black woman owned for sure, maybe even the first Black owned. So Black Mama Tea and Cafe, WeFunder.com/Black Mama Tea and Cafe. Today's quote of the day: The biggest difference between the rich and the poor is financial education and execution. The biggest difference between the rich and the poor is financial education and execution. Believe it or not, y'all, I know when we talk in general terms that we do have a big void and a huge lack of financial education in the Black community. But make no mistake about it, there are people in the Black community with financial education. They just lack the financial execution. This is why the Black Wealth Movement is so important, is because you're joining a team of people that will not only help you get educated, but we also help you execute. It's very important. See, a lot of people can go read Rich Dad, Poor Dad, and they have the financial education, but they don't have the team to help them with the execution. So the biggest difference between the rich and the poor is financial education and execution, right? There we go. Thank you for that, Watika. The biggest difference between the rich and the poor is financial education and execution, right? I remember reading Think and Grow Rich, The Cash Flow Quadrant, Financial IQ by Robert Kiyosaki. I remember reading some of this education. I remember listening to hours and hours of Dr. Boyce Watkins and Dr. Dennis Kimbrough and Dr. Amos Wilson and Dr. Claude Anderson. Listen, I had the financial education, but it wasn't until I got with my econ that I get with a team of people that taught me financial execution. And that's why the Black Wealth Movement is so important. And guys, we're going to change the world, man. And you might want to get involved with us. So today's quote of the day is brought to you by my man, Evan E.R.G.J. Jefferson, author of the Black Billionaires Club. If you want to grab this book, then I want you to go to www.theblackbillionairesclub.com. Theblackbillionairesclub.com. Pick up a copy of this book. It will also give you a free course on how to understand cryptocurrencies. Again, theblackbillionairesclub.com. You want to get a copy of this book. Phenomenal read. It's a study of the 12 current richest Black people in the world. If you want to become wealthy, you better get to studying wealthy people. Study their habits, study their what they do, study the things that they overcome, their approach to life. Everything that you can find out. That's why I love biopics. I love autobiographies and biographies, because I want to know not what wealthy people are doing today. I want to know what they did and what they overcame and what they went through and how they approached those things to get wealthy. That's what we need to be studying. See, everybody looks at an Oprah and say, man, I want to be like Oprah. If you want to be like Oprah, you literally have to go back to studying Oprah before she became Oprah. Right? Yeah, Doc. They want to know what they want to look at it and try to imitate what wealthy people are doing now. No, you have to go back and look at what Bob Johnson did before he became Bob Johnson, founder of BET. What they did to get wealthy is what you need to study, not what they're doing after they got wealthy. You have to study what they did to get wealthy. That's the piece that we're missing, right? We look at wealthy people and say, oh, Oprah drives this car, so I'm going to go and buy this car. No, man. Oprah wears this designer, so I'm going to go buy this designer. I'm going to fake it till I make it. No, man, I'm going to go back to 25 years ago when Oprah was getting put off TV. I'm going to go back to 25 years ago when nobody was listening to Oprah and see what she was saying. See what she was reading 25, 30 years ago before nobody knew Oprah. When she was struggling to be an anchor woman in Chicago. I'm going to go back to see what school did she go to? What books did she read? Who was she hanging around? When did she shift and make a transition? What changed? What sparked? What? what they did, not what they're doing. What they did. What did they get through? What did they overcome? Right? What did they overcome? Right? It's faking it and no making it. Right? No, man. What did they overcome? What did they go through? What happened? How many setbacks? How did they handle their setbacks? That's what I want to know. When Oprah got told no the first 3, 4, 5, 10 times that she couldn't have her own network, how did she deal with that? How did she overcome that? How did she? That's what this is about. Not just their money, but how they made it, what they did, what they had to go through, who they became in the process. See, we got to study the becoming of Oprah, the becoming of Michael Jordan, right? We got to study the becoming of these people, not as they are today. So you're right about the execution part. And once we execute our finances into wealth, we have to politically protect our wealth. I agree. I agree. And I think the economics come first. But like Dr. Claude Anderson says, once you get your economics together, then you buy your politicians. And the ones you can't buy, then you lease or rent them. Right. But yeah, you have to have that political support so that those who have the ability to speak to power and dictate policies, they have to be on our side. We have to make sure that they have our interests at heart and they're fighting for our interests. But you're absolutely right, Rashawn. So, Royal Justice, what's going on? I see you over there on YouTube. Appreciate you for tuning in. Let us know the name of your brand that you're building so we get your business shout out. And then if you got questions, let me know your questions. So you guys got me talking, man. Fridays is all about you. You should be asking your questions about business, about branding, about marketing, about whatever. I'm just recapping the shows until more questions come up, right? But don't get it twisted. I want this to be about you guys. It's amazing knowledge. God bless you. I appreciate that theory. I hope I'm saying that right. I appreciate that. So that was yesterday's show. We did Black Mama's Brand. On Wednesday's show, we had Evan Jefferson, the author of this book. He came on and talked to us about his generational wealth building conference that he's putting together. His generational wealth building conference he's putting together in April 6th through the 8th. He's got Friday night, mix and mingle, a money mixer, right? Poetry, smooth jazz, over creating dialogue around the conversation of building generational wealth. All the poets and songwriters and singers are going to be spitting their pieces around generational wealth and creating the dialogue so we talk to each other and not at each other, right? That's going to be Friday night. I also got a women empowerment event on Saturday night. He got an event for the kids on Saturday afternoon, youth wealth building workshop where they're going to learn about real estate. They're going to learn about building generational wealth, international marketing and branding, and all of this stuff, man. It's going to be phenomenal. If you have not already gotten your ticket, you need to go to wealth.joincorteznow.com. Wealth.joincorteznow.com. And if you are a business owner, right? Doc, I don't know if you're still on, but this might be a good place for you to market and advertise. You go to wealth.joincorteznow.com and they're going to do a program and you can actually sponsor this event with the car wash or the spa. I think that would be a good place for you to get in front of a lot of conscious Black folks about spending money with Black businesses. But if you go there, wealth.joincorteznow.com, you can click on any of the the buttons and it will take you to the Eventbrite. And you will see the packages for sponsoring an ad, a business card size ad, a half-page ad, full-page ad. Is going to be phenomenal. And then, of course, Doc, if you do that through that site, then, you know, I will put you up on that site as well. Anybody who markets and buys a package for marketing their company at that event, let me know. And I want to give you a special shout out on this show and all of my platforms as well. So, says, can you speak more on the execution that we should do to be successful? Yeah, yes, Wiggins. Wiggins, I'm hoping I'm saying your name right. Yes, the execution part. Here is my This is what I teach. This is what I coach people to do, right? First thing you do is take an inventory of all your gifts and talents, special abilities. That's number one. What comes easy to me? When I do certain things, it just comes easy to me. Other people are saying, man, you are so talented at, man, you just do this, that, and the other. But to me, I'm like, oh, that's nothing. What is it that comes easy to you? There's a reason it comes easy to you, because for you, it is a gift, right? I coach people to get in front of a camera and talk to people about what it is they do, build their business and their brand through video. And they're saying, Cortez, it's easy for you to do. You know why? Because it is a gift for me. It's challenging for other people because that's not their gift. So number one, take inventory of all your gifts, talents, and special abilities. Somebody write this in the chat, because I'm going to give you the blueprint right now. 15 minutes. I'm going to give you the blueprint right now. Number one, take inventory of all your gifts, talents, and special abilities. The things that come easy to you and the things that you like to do. So you got those things that come easy to you. Those are your gifts. The things that you just love to do, those are your passions. All the time, the things that come easy to you, you're not really passionate about. And the things that you're passionate about don't really come easy to you. You just love them. But I promise you, there is a cross thread between the things that come easy to you and the things that you're passionate about. You just haven't put it together yet. So for instance, I'm a coach, a natural motivator. My gift of the spirit is exaltation. I love to lift people up, encourage, and motivate. I just love that. That is a gift for me, right? But then I have to figure out how to put it together with things that came easy to me, like technology, building websites and stuff like that. So I said, hey, Cortez, if you're going to be able to make money from this, take the things that come easy to you and you marry it with the things that you're passionate about. And then you can create a business around those things. So number one, take inventory of the things that you are talented, your special gifts, talents, and special abilities. Number two, look around and see who's getting paid for those very same things. First, you take an inventory. Here's what I'm good at. Here's what comes easy to me. Here's what I'm passionate about. Here's what I love to do. I see myself doing this for the rest of my life, whether I make a dime from it or not. It's something I love. Take inventory. Number two, those things that you're passionate about, that knowledge that you have, those things that come easy to you, I want you to look around and I want you to see if somebody else is getting paid to do the very same thing that you're naturally good at, or the very same thing that you're passionate about. Look around and see who's getting paid for those very things. That's number two. Because if someone is getting paid for those very things, then you, my friend, can get paid for those very things. And as the saying goes, when you find out how to get paid for the things that you love to do, you'll never work a day in your life. This, for me, ain't work. The hardest thing about doing this show is getting up in the morning. That's the hardest thing about doing this show. But once the lights come on, the hardest thing is getting up, because I don't have to. I have time freedom. I make just enough income from my business to where I don't have to go punch a clock, right? So I don't have to get up at 5:30 in the morning and get ready for y'all show, or get ready to come to y'all in the morning. So that's the hardest thing about doing it. But once I sit down in this chair and the show is prepared and I come, that's easy. So look around and see who's getting paid for doing the things that you are already naturally good at, or the things that you're passionate about. Okay, I've done that, Cortez. Now what? Now start a business. Start your own business doing that. So the example that I like to give is one of my businesses that people can relate to easier than, being a financial coach. I'm a youth basketball coach and trainer, right? Been coaching youth basketball for 15 to 20 years. Started with my sons when they were younger, and been coaching and training youth basketball. But guess what? I volunteered for a couple organizations. I would help them coach their kids. I would train their kids, and I volunteered. I volunteered to do that. But then, even though I was good, I was passionate, I would take my kids somewhere else and pay somebody else to train my kids at the very thing that I was volunteering to do for free. Then I said, wait a minute. I took an inventory of my gifts, talents, and special abilities. I said, Cortez, you have a way with kids, man. You're good with kids. You encourage and you teach them how to get the most out of themselves. And you have a passion for sports and athletics and training, and you have a passion for health and wellness in general. Why are you paying somebody else to do that which you're equally as good at or better? So I started Solid Foundation Athletic Academy. Now I train kids full time, and I earn an income from that, right? Take your gifts, talents, special abilities, take inventory, write them all down. Then go do your research and look at all the people that are getting paid to do what you know how to do. And I want you to skip past the top 10 famous people, right? Because there are some famous people in the industry. So if you cook, then I don't want you to look at Rachel Ray. If you cook, I don't want you to look at Chef Emerald and Martha Stewart and all these. If you cook, I want you to go and just do a Google search on making money as a chef, right? And I want you to look at some of the blogs and video blogs of people who are making money cooking, who are not on the Food Network, who are not famous. Because that's what we tend to do. We look at the famous people and say, yeah, I cook, but I can't be a Rachel Ray. Yeah, I cook a little bit, but I can't be Martha Stewart. Yeah, I know how to design. I know how to sew. I know how to do a little bit of stuff, man. I'm probably I'm better homemaker than Martha Stewart. But we're looking there and saying, I can't do that. But if you keep going through Google, so I'm saying you did a Google search, there's some people gonna come up on the first page. Get to page 3, 4, 5 and start reading some of those blogs and start looking at some of what those people are doing. And you'll start saying, wait a minute. Here's somebody who's not famous. Here's somebody who is not well recognized, but they're making money from the thing that they're passionate about. And you can start to model and do some of the same things. Cortez, why is it so important to start a business? Because you cannot afford to continue to give a third of your income away in taxes. Oh, here you go, talking about taxes. I'm going to talk about taxes till the day I die, man. We're continuing to try to live a lifestyle, a gross income lifestyle off our net income. That's what we're doing. We're trying to live a gross income lifestyle off our net income. And it doesn't take a rocket scientist to realize that math just don't add up. So without a business, you're going to continue to give upwards of 40, 50, 60% of your income to Uncle Sam in taxes. Cortez, nobody pays 50% in taxes. A third of your income is gone in taxes before you even get your check. Let's be clear about that. 25%, if most people are paid the 25% tax bracket federally, then the state taxes, for those of you who are in states where you have a state tax, that's another 6 or 7%. And then when you think about everything else, other local taxes, because even if you don't have a state tax, then you got a local tax. So 25% plus another 7% is what? I'll wait. A third of your income gone before you even get your check. That's just one tax. That's just income tax. Then after you get your check, that's missing a third of it, you pay sales tax on everything you buy. Real estate tax, personal property tax. You pay taxes on the things you own after you pay sales tax on them when you bought it. Now I got to pay taxes because I own it. All right? Come on now. Let's be clear. One of the things that IRS and Uncle Sam is very good at is disguising the amount of taxes that we actually pay as working class people. But you will come out of about 40 to 50% of your income towards taxes after including income tax and all the other taxes that you pay. However, as a business owner, you get to dictate and determine how much taxes you pay. So take inventory of your skills, talents, special abilities, things that you're passionate about, things that you know. Some of you guys have a phenomenal vault of knowledge here. And it's been in your stomach to write a book about what you know for the last 20 years, and you ain't sit down and wrote the book yet. Know all sorts of stuff that you could be getting paid for if you start blogging about what you know. Put a camera in your face and start doing short videos about what you know. Right? To take inventory of what you know. Look at the landscape of the market and see who's getting paid for what you already know and what you're good at, and how are they getting paid? Because there's a lot of business models. If you guys want a good course on different types of online business models, I want you to go to $15onlinecourses.com. $15 spelled out, onlinecourses.com. It's a brand new site I just put together because I want to help people who don't have a whole lot of money to spend on education in some of these areas. I got 4 or 5 courses up right now for $15. And some of them are going to be even less than $15. But I want to help you with your branding and marketing. Not everybody wants to pay $40 a month for Monetize My Life Academy. I get it. That's cool. But you got to start investing in your education and getting your skill set up. You just absolutely have to. That is there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So I to understand $15 on. Yes, that's it, Monica. I appreciate that. So once you take inventory and you look at the landscape and see who is getting paid for what you're passionate about, how they're getting paid, now you have to pick a business model and you start your own business. If you're working a job, starting a business is going to allow you to adjust your W-4 form on your job, so your job will stop taking as much tax money out of your check. So you can get a $200 to $600 increase in your take-home pay on your job just by using this strategy, using this method. Then you take that extra money and don't dump it into the business right now. Take that extra money and you start getting yourself out of debt. Now, this is what the Black Wealth Movement does. We not only teach you how to execute, but we give you the tools and the resources to help you execute. Because while you're doing that, you could be fixing your credit. We have a smart money credit education program that you can use to fix your credit. But get yourself out of debt, because that relieves the pressure that you're under for working a job you don't like. Oh, wait, what? Yeah, y'all know y'all don't like y'all job. Stop it. But you're under a lot of pressure to work that job, to stay on that job because of the amount of debt that you're carrying. Start a business that's going to free up some money that you can use to get yourself out of debt. And once you're out of debt, you might be able to get yourself out of that job and say, you know what? I can go over here and do something that I love to do, where I can learn how to do some more skills that's going to help me in my business, even though it's for less pay, because you don't have the same debt. See, we got to start thinking strategically about building wealth. And the #1 strategy for building wealth from scratch is to shift your tax dollars back from Uncle Sam back to your household. Shift the interest dollars that you're paying on your debts from the banks back to your household by getting yourself out of debt. Fixing your credit can also lower your outgo and increase your cash flow. Right? And then You can, as you're doing that, you can focus on learning what it is you need to know about making your business profitable. But your business doesn't have to be profitable out of the gate for you get the tax write-offs. That's the part that most people are missing. Your business does not have to be profitable for you to get the tax write-offs. Somebody was in one of my streams today commenting under my business, said, Cortez, I get what you're saying. People should start a business, but people got to make money first before they can have tax write-offs. That's where people are wrong. No, you already have an income from your job. You don't have to make money from your business to write off the things you're already paying for, like your cell phone, like your rent, like your utilities. You're already paying for that stuff. Now you start writing that stuff off and it's saving you money. You didn't make a dime in business yet. That, if y'all don't hear nothing else, man, hear me. Hear me. You don't have to make a dime in your business to take the tax write-offs. Right? Says, hey, I come from the music background. I go by the name Papa Duke, and I have over 400,000 plus followers on my Facebook fan page. And I want to know if I did short videos and such, how can I make money from my videos? Because I have a lot of knowledge to offer. Like, what are some ways I can monetize doing videos to my audience? What products have you created? What do you have any products? And this is a good one, Papa Dukes. This is a very, very good one. And we're going to go over a little bit here. So hang with me, guys. This is a very good one. Music background. If you guys are not following Trevor Otts and the Black CEO, that's someone to follow. It's one of my virtual mentors, Trevor Otts and the Black CEO. Here's what most people are missing. And he says this all the time. There's more in what you know than what you do. There's more in what you know than what you do. See, Papa Dukes, you do music, right? But what do you know? You know how to do music. You came from the music background, then chances are you can produce a track. But what do you know? You know how to produce a track. You come from the music background, then you can put out a CD. You know how to do that, right? That's what you do. You can do that, but you also know how to put out a CD. So if you don't already have courses teaching young musicians how to get their stuff to market, that's what you should be coaching and teaching. That's a product that you can offer. Create your own coaching practice for those in the music industry, in the music business. Say, you want to get into this industry, if you're in the music business, chances are you've cut a demo before, Papa Dukes. That's what you've done. But what do you know? You know how to cut a demo. And you can write an ebook on, here are the top 10 facts you need to know about how to cut a demo correctly. Oh, it's Papa Duck. I'm sorry. Papa Duck. I call you Papa Duke, Papa Duck. But that's what you know, right? That's what you know. So a lot of people are missing that. I can create and write a short ebook, and I can sell that short ebook for $3.99, $4.99, $5.99. And then that ebook can then sell people into a higher ticket product. So maybe you buy the ebook for $2.99, or maybe I give you the ebook for free. But then that ebook lets you know that I know my stuff. And you execute the stuff that I put in the ebook, then you say, man, I really need to get and sit down with this guy. Okay, the ebook says, hey, for X amount of dollars, you can now go and buy this course that I put together. For X amount of dollars, you can get on a coaching call with me. You guys starting to see how that whole thing works? you can definitely benefit from a few of the $15 courses. I would tell you this, Papa Duck, when you go to $15 courses, $15onlinecourses.com, you need to go ahead and buy that $47 bundle. I have a $47 bundle of 10 courses and 9 ebooks for $47. You need that bundle, brother, because you need to know how to build your own website. You need to know how to monetize your social media, which 400,000 is a lot, right? I feed my family and I got 65, 66,000 followers. And what I do, you got 400,000. If you had a dollar product that you were getting 10% of them to buy a dollar product from you every month, it's $40,000 a month, bro. So you need to invest in some of those courses, man. And the cool thing about those courses, if you buy the bundle, you get 2 one-on-one coaching sessions with me. Buy the $47 bundle. We'll go through some of the material. Then we'll set up coaching session number 1, 30 minutes. Then I kind of help you with your game plan. And then you execute on that game plan for about 30 days. And then you set up coaching session number 2 with me. And then we'll say how far you've come, what you should be focusing on, what kind of successes you have, and then we'll hone that thing in a little bit more in coaching session number 2. You can't get much better than that for $47, right? Or you do that and you join the Black Wealth Movement, man. You get access to me all the time, right? So, man, good stuff, man. Good stuff. Appreciate you guys. You guys got a last question or two before we get out of here? Just got a couple other quick announcements before we go. If you are in the Atlanta area and you want to come and attend a free wealth building workshop with me and my mentor tomorrow morning, 9 a.m., Crown Plaza Airport Hotel on Virginia Avenue, I want to see you there, man. I'd like to see you there. Meet me, my mentors, a lot of the Black Wealth Movement team, a lot of my coaches and mentors will be in the building. 9 a.m., Atlanta, Georgia, Crown Plaza Hotel, airport location on Virginia Avenue, 9 a.m. You want to get there about 8:45, man. Get you a good seat and learn how to build some wealth from scratch from some 7-figure earners, man. That's where I will be tomorrow morning. And then if you can't make that, tomorrow night, we'll be at the Crown Plaza again, 8 p.m. for a Black Wealth Movement Mix and Mingle. Black Wealth Movement Mix and Mingle tomorrow night, Crown Plaza, same Crown Plaza Hotel, 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern time, of course, local time there in Atlanta. So that's it for my announcements. Remember, if you have not already checked out the Generational Wealth Building Conference that's coming up April 6th through 8th, go to wealth.joincorteznow.com. Wealth.joincorteznow.com. All the ticket information is there. Even if you click on the main ticket button, you will see all of the things that you can purchase to advertise at the event. And maybe you do like my girl, LaWanda, author of Alice in Crackland. She said, Cortez, I can't come to the event, but I'm going to buy a ticket. Can you bless somebody with it? So maybe you want to get a ticket and bless somebody with a ticket, right? Because we need this kind of stuff to happen. And when we put this stuff on and nobody shows up, it makes it less likely for us to put it on again. But let's help make this a successful event. When you go to wealth.joincorteznow.com, even if you cannot purchase a ticket, click on the Eventbrite button and share the Eventbrite link on your timeline. Other people on your timeline might want to build wealth. So that's it for this week's shows, man. I'm your man, H. Cortez, the joincorteznow.com, Monica. Wealth.joincorteznow.com. You forgot the now, but I appreciate you keeping everybody in the know on the timeline. So I'm H. Cortez, the one and only financial health mentor to the Black community, everybody's favorite fatherpreneur. Until I talk to you next time, I want you to get your money up because you absolutely can do it. But more importantly, you deserve to do it, each and every one of you. Peace out, y'all.